It pops up on my phone.
All right. It says we're live. I never have YouTube pulled up like I'm supposed to.
Hold on.
That would make me being
we're
productive.
live.
Hey, there's my face. Let's just put that down. We're good. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. We are discussing Legends and Lattes. I'll point to it eventually. By Travis. Is it Baldree? Travis
Baldree, yeah.
I believe is how we say it. Bianca, it's been forever and a day.
Oh my goodness, hi!
I love that you've read the last few. Yeah, because I think you were reading a lot of the Bromance book clubs. So
yeah,
good news is we're doing Christmas in July.
I've seen her posts on, I think it's Goodreads.
Liz.
Hi, Liz.
I think so too. I'm really bad about keeping up with everyone. Hey, Cool Gamer. Yeah, so this was a short one. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to talk about. I did rate it. We'll start with ratings. I know, Charles, so you said, did you start it at all or you haven't yet?
I was just kidding. I read it.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about
I'm such a gullible person. I'm like, yeah, sure, of course. You didn't read it. That's fine. Just be here. It's all good.
I read it.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're fine.
Yeah, but what did everybody rate it? I'm actually really curious to see what you rated it, Charles.
Me too. Considering we talked about it a little bit last night.
I would give it 3.5.
5. So I gave it 4, but I did an actual of 4.5, which might, depending on how this conversation goes, could deviate back down to 4. Not that it was a bad book, just not a lot happened. But Alicia, what did you rate it?
I gave it a 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
I think my only critique is I think it should have been longer.
Because I don't know about that. It felt pretty long.
I was like, are you sure?
By that I mean like I feel like the end was rushed because we took so long in the setup. So the pacing was off for me a little. I think the length was okay, just the pacing was off.
Like in a weird way, I liked the slowness of it because I used to work in a coffee shop, clearly. Oh, hold on. Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. I used to work there. I drink coffee all the time. I love lattes. Sign me up. As soon as they mentioned croissants, I was like, because they talked about chocolate, I was like, if they don't put chocolate in that croissant, it's going to be a missed opportunity.
Croissants are the only acceptable croissant. I'm sorry. Croissants are the only acceptable ones.
Croissants, as they're purely made, is the gold standard. Chocolate just adds up more to it.
Yes.
I'm just picky on where I get it from. There's good ones and there's bad ones.
True.
Yes,
but yeah, I liked seeing how it progressed, and I could kind of figure out what the items were that they were trying to put together. But at the same time, I was like, is this going anywhere? Is anything going to happen? You've hinted at a few things, and then like with the madrigal, things just kind of dissipated rather quickly on that one, and then all of a sudden it was about the stone and the other guy, and I'm just like,
the fire.
What's happening?
And the stone in the end was worthless.
Yeah,
right.
Well, kind of.
He literally did all that, burned down his friend's coffee shop for a stone that's useless. So like at the end, I was kind of thinking, okay, like what was the point? This is just like cozy fantasy vibes.
I like the characters.
I thought it was gonna be sapphic too, but I was like, these two have chemistry.
Yeah,
they did kiss all the way at the end.
Oh, hang on, hold on.
End.
Shannon, I'm only saving my first. Okay, I haven't read it. No worries. Thanks for coming, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Sorry to spoil it so fast for you.
But it's really
good.
It's very hard not to.
Like it was a really good book, though. So definitely pick it up.
I highly recommend it if you need a change of pace. If like you're tired of reading the same book. Like it's a good in between book. I think it's a good in between. Like if you need to get out of fantasy but want to stay like.
I felt like it wasn't going anywhere for so long. Like we were just along her journey, and I'm like for a while I was like fine with it, but then after a couple like so many chapters, I was just like, where is
you get bored?
Like like the characters were still really great, and I still really enjoyed them, But at the same time, I was just like, I need something to happen. I wanted there to be more of a love story between Viv and, is it Tandri? Is that her name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Andrew,
I didn't make a character list. I'm terrible.
I did, because I couldn't remember people.
I needed to, but I'm house sitting, so I didn't have the right pen and paper. It was a slice of fantasy life, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, like I wanted so much more. Like I knew it wasn't going to be like a juicy romance, but I really wanted something.
I definitely wanted more from the side characters that pop up.
Yeah.
Like with the musician, I thought his character was really fun.
I think that's his name.
Hendry, and then Thimble, the cook. I wish he had more
Yeah,
from
I love
that.
him.
The cat. I felt like Viv was not the most interesting person to follow.
Yeah.
I think Tandri was the more interesting character. And even the old builder guy was more interesting than Viv.
Cow.
Yeah. Whatever his name is, the builder guy.
Oh.
He was adorable.
Okay, I guess 3 because I got.
Ooh, City of Brass. I'm starting that next month.
I love City of Brass.
I'm starting that next month.
Competition.
Love that book.
I got the big floppy paperback for my birthday. So.
We had a whole. You're exactly right. The whole cast kind of just sat there. Like I would have loved a few chapters. Like after we got into a little bit, it would have made so much sense, or it wouldn't have felt so jarring to have plot points from other characters, because it was just kind of like day-to-day life. Like, okay, well, let's get the day-to-day life of this person over here or that person over there. I wanted to know where the cat went. I was so curious about Darius. I was still confused about who he was playing against, but I'm hoping that gets solved in the next one.
And that cliffhanger with Fenris?
I
know.
I'm pretty sure.
That's the most interesting part of the book, and you just leave it. And you just leave me hanging there.
I honestly think he died, though, because it said something about, like, well, he took a final breath, and then the cat pounced, and I was just like, ooh. That's probably not.
Are we going to get confirmation of this?
Well, I think he's going to make this a series. I know that the one that's coming out in November is technically a prequel.
A prequel?
I don't know if I would continue.
Prequel.
Prequel? How can you make it a prequel?
Because they're making it like the quest fantasy, like the stuff she used to do before she got there.
But that doesn't make, honestly, it doesn't make any sense, because before, like literally just before this, she's all about like battle and let's kill people, and
killing
let's get all this stuff. I don't foresee her having a bookstore, and that's why I was confused, because I've seen the cover for the second one, and I was just like,
a bookstore. Something?
Yeah, bookstores and something.
Bookstores. Yeah. But for a prequel, it doesn't make sense. I wouldn't mind it as a sequel where like it's right next door and she decides to open up a bookstore next to her coffee shop.
When you look at it on Goodreads, it says Legends and Lattes Book 0. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it was definitely over. It was really hyped.
I
feel like this book plays well if you love fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it's like something that you never see in fantasy. Like,
it kind of reminded me of D&D. Like,
yes. I got a lot of D&D vibes out of this. And I don't know much about D&D, but I'm like,
me either,
it was very.
I have friends that do it a lot. So like stuff they told me made sense once I read this.
Yeah.
I feel like there's enough story to do a prequel. Unless it's like on Madrigal or someone else.
I'm wondering if it's a continuation of the mini story that's on the audio. Because it's
maybe that could be.
Yeah.
Because of the audiobook, they did have
the short story.
Pages to fill.
It's a prequel.
Yeah.
I still have to finish that. I'm in the middle of it, but I was like, I got the main part of the book.
Honestly, you didn't miss anything.
I'm reading it, and again, I'm just like, this is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Jen is so harsh.
Like it's not like I feel like I was comparing it to the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire, and that's so much. Well, it's not like It's kind of like that slice of life-ish fantasy, but the way those books are constructed it's so good, and they're only like 90 pages, but you feel like you went on this whole complete story
I kind of
with
want
these
this as like a graphic
characters.
novel because I want to see everything.
The
Like, describe
books do
things.
have illustrations.
Yeah.
I
At
think
least
it's like
the
on
one that
book
I have.
7 or 8 now.
Oh gosh, so many.
They're really
I
good.
agree,
They're really good
Bianca.
though.
I was expecting it to be a 5-star read, and it was good, but. And I am looking it up, and for some reason, the fact I heard you say it, Alicia, but like seeing it in Goodreads is really depressing me. The fact that Bookshops and Bone Dust is number 0 in this series. Like,
I don't really understand. That's why I'm wondering if it's like an offshoot of the side story that's in the audio.
I just hope
Or
he
maybe
doesn't
he already
narrate
had
it.
it written when Orbit picked it up. Because this is the independently published cover, this one.
I think it was probably after he got picked up.
I'm gonna
Because
By
give
Orbit
Orbit.
seems to
you
be picking up so much
just
stuff.
oh my god, it's 352 pages according to this. Sorry.
Oh, I thought it was a
That just seems
novella
like
or
a lot.
something.
But the first sentence, and I think you guys are right that it's right after the short story. When an injury throws a young battle-hungry orc off her chosen path, she may find that what we need isn't always what we seek.
Yeah.
Maybe it's where she supposedly found coffee. Because she constantly brought up where she found
I
coffee.
was hoping that that's what
Oh,
this
yeah.
story was going to be about.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Just guessing.
Didn't you say, Alicia, that the author was the narrator?
Yeah.
That's
I
The
don't
only
like
part that
it.
bugged me, and
You
we
didn't like it.
and Charles and I agreed on this, was some of his female voices were a little, for being 2 female characters, his female voices were a little
Yeah,
my
I thought it was a
library-
weird choice to have. I know they do that sometimes, but I was like, Viv and Tandri, it should have been a female narrator to do it. Because we were hearing Viv's voice, and you're like,
what?
It's a dude.
Well, the good thing is I did not have the audiobook, so
I'm so sorry.
it was wonderful for me.
I don't think I would have made it through the book if it wasn't for the audio.
It took a long time to get into, I'll tell you that.
Same. I had to reread the first 5 chapters twice
to
get into it. Because I was just reading, I was like, I'm not getting into this. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's just very dry. I don't know. I was expecting it to just be more.
yeah.
Oh, is this that book that you guys, Alicia, they keep on talking about, A Curse in Ash?
Yes, that's the first one. Yes. You need to read it.
I don't think so. To go to the Vale to get to Starve. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I guess in that sense it could be something similar if that was the case. But
yeah.
Sorry, I had
Book
to think
3
about
is coming out in October. Yay!
We still don't know the date though.
She
But we have a
normally
cover
goes
at
for like the 18th or the 20th usually.
Well, she said there was an important date, so I'm trying to remember when her birthday is or when she got married. So
it's either one of those two.
It is. Someone's got a birthday, or someone got married. That's the only two.
She did message me. I don't know if she messaged you as well that she would give you and me arcs.
I didn't get that yet. I don't know when she did it.
She might have just sent it to me and said that we would both be getting arcs anyway.
Noise.
Okay.
I don't know when, but I did get that message the other day.
I just need to know.
Bad. I don't care about arcs anymore. I'm like, I can just wait till it comes out and buy it. I'm like, I'm fine.
I only have 2, and one's through NetGalley and one's going to come directly to me.
Nice.
Oh, my NetGalley's a graveyard. There's so many books I haven't read.
I try not to put too many. Yeah. I try not to sign up for too many of them, and then I think because I'm not that popular, they don't give me very many.
Really?
But I have one right now, and I've been really good about it though. I've only signed up for so many, and for every one that I've signed up for, I've created at least a review for it. So I'm consistent with that, but I am consistently posting late, so they probably don't love that.
Well, because like I'm part of like I'm on Penguin's ARC approval list, so like a lot of times I don't have
You get
to.
automatic?
I get automatic,
Lucky.
Nice.
and I never read them. I think like sometimes if I read a book early and leave a review on Goodreads, they'll sometimes offer me a physical copy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I did get sent.
Incentivize me.
Yeah, I did get sent a finished copy from an author the other day, and I'm really excited to read it.
Nice. I do like the audiobook with the ebook or the physical book, kind of like a read along thing. I don't know. For some reason, like if I can't focus, it helps.
I love it.
I love blended reading.
Sometimes giveaways.
Yeah,
I feel like
we can get you up on your arcs. Just hit me up.
And then I feel like
I get that.
it is a lot of pressure because you're just like, okay, I've got to make sure that I just got to make sure that I do it. And so I have a little post on my thing. I mean, the book itself doesn't come out till October, but I think they closed it May 31st. I don't know if that's when they want the review by, but that's not when Jen does the review by.
No, it's usually like they just want like the week before for the week of release.
So
it just means like you usually can't download it after a certain point once they archive it.
That makes sense.
So some have longer dates, some are really short. So like if you miss it, you miss it for downloading a thing. It'll still show up on your board, but then you can't download the.
Yeah, that happened to me.
I sent it to my Kindle. Gotta read it. Gotta throw it in between Madison Faye. Which, by the way, Charles, I've discovered she's no longer on Eden Books. It's very difficult to find her books right now. Like near impossible. Go on Eden right now and try. I looked it up because I was like, I could use just like 20 of her books right now just to like throw into my back library. And it just said page not found. I was like, what? How am I supposed to get books now? And she doesn't even have a website. Like her website's not even up.
Oh shit.
I'm supposed to get her books now.
So I did some digging. There is a little bit for last week. She is on Apple Books. She's on Barnes and Noble, which was shocking to me. I was just like, what? And then she has a few on
Kindle.
Amazon, but not a lot.
Yeah, a couple of books are back on Amazon. I did see that.
She must have been able to work it out with Amazon to get unbanned.
If you look at the name, though, the name is slightly different. Like it's Madison.Faye or M. Faye or Faye Madison.
Oh, that might be how she got it through the system.
She snuck them back a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy for. But at the same time, I'm like...
Faye Madison? That's funny.
I'm just trying to figure out.
It's really funny. It's like I can't use my real name, so I'm just gonna flip it.
Invert it.
Madison.
It's like how will people not? How does Amazon not know? I mean, I guess I don't have that much time to care too much, but at the same time, it's like if they don't care at all, then just let her go back. What was the problem with her? I loved her books.
I think it seemed like it was Alexa Riley or something like, or maybe it was because Madison Faye likes to write like underage heroines a lot.
Oh.
Or like they just turned 18 like halfway through the book.
I'm kind of
over in the first like
heroine being 18.
10 pages.
Yep.
She loses her virginity to her professor. Oh, sorry, I
think there was one where like she literally turned 18 like a second before they got it on.
It was the Bait, the Winchester series.
The professor one, the first one in that series. I was like, what?
Yep. And he was waiting there for her too. I was like, what? But again, I don't read her for the plot. So when she tries to throw it in, I'm just like, why? You are losing stars by trying to add a story. Just don't. Oh. Nice. Well, be happy. I just said this. Well, Shannon was on, but if you look in the description box, I basically updated it for the rest of the year. So
I know we were talking about that last night. I'm like, holy crap, I gotta write all this down.
Yeah, I don't have. I didn't even think that it was planning that far, but then I put one of the Meghan Quinn series in there, and that took up like a month and a half. And then Julianne Lindsey, who we always read, she's got 3 books coming out at the end of the year. So it was just
they're all like October too. They're all in October.
Yeah, October, and then one's in November. So hopefully everyone likes to buy from Harlequin because you'll want to
You can get it a month early, and it's easier to get through Harlequin.
Yeah. I went crazy and got 4 library books. Oh, see, I can't do that. It'd be too much pressure.
I don't get physical books from the library anymore.
I get physical books.
I've been reading more physical.
I still finished Kindred.
I know, that's after the London Seance Society. That's what I'm focusing on.
Which one?
Kindred.
After we're getting back to Kindred after this one.
I'm almost done with that one.
I'm
on chapter 4.
I have not started it.
I
didn't start this book until Saturday, so.
I finished it this morning.
What's this? I planned ahead. I was like, I'm going to read. Okay, but I did finish the book this morning, but I was in the same place as Alicia. I was like, we're the exact same chapter.
We were literally like 5 chapters to the end last night. We were talking on the live on Aaron's channel about it.
Oh yeah, Bianca. A lot of libraries have this on Hoopla. Although, oh gosh, there's some of our readers that don't have Hoopla, and I feel like you might have been the one.
Libby, maybe.
Libby might have
it. I know
it.
libraries will have it.
Libby probably will have it.
I know if you have access to Scribd, sometimes they have the newer stuff.
Oh man. I feel like we should be talking about the book more, but also I feel like we've talked about everything that we can talk about. So
I really wanted a cinnamon roll after reading it, though.
Oh my gosh! No,
I was like, I want a cinnamon roll now.
I was trying to figure out what his little thimblets were.
I'm wondering if they were the take on like scones, without calling them a scone.
Maybe, but they said that they were hard, so I thought it would be more like a cracker that you'd have to dip. But a scone makes sense. Oh, biscotti! I bet you it was biscotti because he said dip it, and then they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is magical!" Sure is.
Like he didn't use the term biscotti, but that's what it sounded like.
How long is the next book, guys? I don't know.
Page-wise or audio? Audio is like just shy of 10 hours, but that's without speeding it up.
Oh, that's not bad then.
I think the physical is like probably around 350. 300.
I got it right here. Hold on.
Sorry.
It's good. That one's good. I like that one more than this one so far.
Do you? How far into it are you?
I'm at least near the 50% off, 50% mark.
Okay. Did you ever read The Lost Apothecary?
No, I do have the audio.
330 pages.
330, okay. Yeah, I'm just curious to see how it compares to that. Because it's not that I didn't like The Lost Apothecary. It's just like, did you ever read Devil in the White City by
Eric Larson?
Yes.
Yep.
I love that book, but I only liked...
The narrative nonfiction? Yeah.
Yeah, like the bad guy, he was just creepy as all get out, and so I was really into it. And so The Lost Apothecary had that where they had like a back in time and then like a future time. And I really wanted the story for the back in time to just prevail, but we had to follow this modern
hated her in the present timeline. I hated her. I was like,
yeah, well, her husband
chapter 4, I was like, I'm done. I hated her. She was so annoying, and all she did was whine, and I'm just like, girl, fuck up or shut up. Like come on. Oh, and then someone spoiled it for me because I didn't care, and they were like, oh yeah, she thinks about taking back her husband. I'm like, the opening scene is him cheating on her. No.
Don't take him back.
No. It's just like, I only wanted the like 1890 timeline. I didn't give a crap about the 2007 timeline.
Oh yeah.
That's the issue with a lot of dual timeline is like most of the time not an issue, but like I like one timeline more than the other usually.
Well, I read a really good one recently. Oh my god, what was it called?
You like a London Seance Society, though. So
I'm
I
liking
think
it
you
so
will.
far in chapter 4. I'm really liking it.
I mean, I love the cover. As soon as I saw the cover, I was like, sold.
Both timelines are interesting.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why. That's
good.
what's actually gripping me. Both timelines are really interesting.
Okay, that works. That works. What was it? This is gonna bother me until I figure it out. Because yeah, they did start in like 2 different timelines, and I typically hate that, but then they basically caught up to where they were supposed to be at.
Oh, I don't mind that.
And it was really good.
There's one that I read years ago that I think you would like. It's called Cooking for Picasso.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, it's so good. It wasn't big because this was before I got into like BookTube and stuff, so I didn't know anything. But someone gave it to me, and it was a timeline of this woman who cooked for Picasso, hence the title.
Oh.
And then her granddaughter finds a bunch of letters between the grandmother, who was the woman who cooked for Picasso, and Picasso. So she goes back to France and tries to find out what their relationship was, like that kind of thing. So it was like
Yeah.
1920s versus 2000. I think the current timeline was like 2012, and it was really good. And then there was recipes in the back for like French food.
Oh, fun.
I was like, yes.
Oh, okay.
I think it might have been a Cosmic Kind of Love by Samantha Young. Sorry, you're gonna hear the dog squeak your toy. I don't have the energy to get up and take it from him. But yeah, Cosmic Kind of Love was really good. I don't think that's a dual timeline that I'm thinking of, but is it? I can't think of it, but yeah, that one's really cool because basically the woman, she's a wedding planner, and she gets all these files from the future bride, and she finds like these videos, video letters from her like boyfriend before her fiance, who was an astronaut. For
You told me
NASA.
about this. Yeah.
And so she starts reading them, and she like learns all about this guy, and she like loves him. And then she starts sending videos back, not even expecting him to respond. She's just like, hey, I want to let you know that I've watched your videos. I feel really bad about it. And, you know, obviously he's outraged, but then he continues to read them, but then tells like the NASA publisher people, like, always make it look like it's been rejected. So she keeps sending them because she doesn't think anyone's watching them, and it just makes her feel better. It's very good.
That does sound good.
I'd say I'd add it in, but schedule's a little tight at the moment, guys.
Maybe like the first one next year.
Yeah.
In January.
So, what?
What?
I'm not sure about that one. Uh-oh, Bianca's got to go. Hold on. I read the next comment. Sorry. Bye, Bianca. Thanks for coming.
Bye, Bianca.
Bye, nice to see you.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many books that we could read. I could start planning for January, but I'm going to wait till about November to feel out where we're at.
Yeah.
But the good news is, okay, so the fantastic news is that's a standalone book. So I really hope that in the new year we can do a bunch of standalones because we've stayed current with a lot of things.
Standalones or like I'm okay with like something like the Bromance book club where they are interconnected, but if you're reading one, it doesn't affect you reading them out of order. Like I like those ones that are connected, but not like connected where you have to read them in order.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to tell now with like some romance authors because I'm like, it's not. But then you read one book, you're like, but then you read the book and you're like, wait, I don't know who these characters are. Who are they? What are their relationship? There's like I would say like one is like Rena Kent, like her earlier like Cruel high school series, and some of the spinoffs that came from that. Like you do have to read those in order because all the characters do interconnect and overlap.
I think I figured this out. So I think it's coming from, and correct me if I'm wrong, Liz, but the Lost Apothecary, where like it takes place back in time, but then all of a sudden you jump forward and there's cell phones everywhere. I think that's the kind of thought process behind the comment. Because in the Lost
okay.
Apothecary, it's like before any kind of technology whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, you're just modern day London.
Oh, the London Science Society is different. They're both in the
it's
past.
much better. Trust me, I haven't DNF'd it yet, and we're past the point where I DNF'd the other one, so we're good so far.
Yeah, I think like you're maybe like 5 years in between or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not. It's in the same time period.
I remember it now. The Crawdad book.
Oh, where the crawdad sing?
Yes, that one was phenomenal. How it started. I know that there's like controversy around the author. Sure, okay. I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know any of that. But it was fantastic how it started. Like you go the back, and then you come forward, and then you find out her backstory, and then you go forward, and then it eventually catches up with where we are in present time and moves forward. And it was just very good. But I know that there's trauma behind that author, so read it if you will, or do your research and decide if you don't want to read it. But I liked it.
It's saying like you're reading 2 books at once, one historical and one is modern?
Oh yeah, that would be very jarring.
I wouldn't mind
reading at the same time.
I can't
do 2 books that have
books.
similar. I can't do multiple books that have similar.
I usually focus on one, or like right now I've got the 2 books I'm currently reading, and I'm gonna have to switch to physical because the audiobook makes me want to literally put an ice pick in my eye.
What is it?
Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa something. It was one of my special editions.
Oh, Melissa Albert?
Yes. I really, really hate the narrator's voice. It just, maybe I need to give it another shot, but I know one of them did the Divergent series, and that didn't bother me. But for some reason in this series, like there's 2 female narrators, and I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand what the purpose of it is. So I think I'm gonna have to physically read it for a while and then pick up the audiobook again, or just let it go. But then the other book that I'm reading is John Green's The Anthropocene Reviewed, which is super easy because they're short little sections.
Reading that?
Oh yeah. I kind of put it on the back burner for a while. But yeah, I want to get an audiobook going, which is why I did the Our Crooked Hearts, but it's not jiving with me. So I think I want to pick up the Black Dagger Brotherhood, because I've got a couple of those that I've got to catch up on.
I've never read that series. Everybody tells me I should, but I'm like, it's so long.
It's like any romance series. Like, if it's paranormal, it's like at least 25 books.
What's the other one? I have the first one.
The Gina Showalter one, The Lords of the Otherworld.
There's a Gina Showalter one.
I have one of the Gina Showalters, and I have the other one.
Cressley Cole. I don't know what that one. Lindsey Sands. Yeah. Once they get past, I think Julie and Lindsey had it right, where after about book 7 or 8, at that point, it's just done. You got to put a story to rest at a certain point. Even for paranormal, like I have to stop with the Black Dagger Brotherhood because I just didn't care. Like I like the characters, but at the same time, I'm like, the story, like I don't know who they're fighting anymore. Like who's who. This guy became very rapey, and I didn't like that, but he ended up dying, so that was fine. I didn't like him to begin with, but he got what was due to him. Life is too short to listen. Exactly. So that's why I'm going to try and see if physically reading that one will help. Yeah, I've got a couple.
That's why I go for credits. I use credits when I buy audiobooks because you can, in some cases, you can return those.
Oh, yeah.
Audible changed their policy. Like if you pay cash for the audiobook, you can't return it. It's final.
But if you have a credit, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. I can get, but I can respect this decision.
Yeah. I get why they did it, but I was like, kind of like, really? Why'd you have to do that to me?
You know what makes me mad is when a lot of the books of the authors I want to read are only available on Audible. Like,
Oh yeah.
Jen,
if you want a good audiobook, you should read Mafia Air by Elle Steele. That's a really fun series. You will like it.
Why does that sound familiar too?
It's like if you read, it's similar to the Sophie Lark book, Brutal something.
Oh,
I
yeah.
It's the
haven't read
first
that
book,
one.
but
Pearl
this one
Prince.
is like, but this heroine is like crazy.
And you
It's like
said,
so
is it
funny.
by Sabine Barkley or Celeste
It's
Barkley?
by, let me pull the first book. So it's Mafia King
Oh,
by
Mafia
Elle
King.
Steele.
Elle Steele.
And has a
Oh,
prequel
hey.
novella if you want to read that too.
I think I've seen this one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a
Good to
really
know, good
fun
to know.
scene where like it's not a spoiler, but when she does something when they get married, and it's so fun. It's just a fun time.
That's what I'm looking for. I think that's my problem with this one.
I was looking for like
I was looking for spicy something.
Yeah.
Something.
I feel like the book is like more vibe than plot.
Yes.
Which is sometimes I'm okay. I think I went in with the wrong expectations.
Real high expectations. And
Like,
that's my problem.
If I knew it was just vibes, that's fine. But like no one said that in any of the reviews, so
I guess when they kind of said cozy, they were kind of hinting.
Yeah, someone told me it was kind of like
maybe.
a cozy, like fantasy, and I go, okay. In my mind, when I hear cozy, I'm thinking cozy mystery. So like, there's a murder that we've got to solve. So
then
in that regard,
you should check out the House Witch series. It's like a fantasy, but it's with a male witch, and it's really it looks fun. I think it's like 3 books.
3 books, okay. Yeah, I was just I heard cozy and I was thinking like it's a pupper, little baby.
Hi. Here I go. I go
He's
somewhere.
like, all right, bye. But yeah, so I mean, cozy, I can see that now, but it's a different type of cozy than what I had in my mind. So I went in with ulterior expectations.
Yeah, I thought it was similar to like a cozy mystery. That's what when they say cozy fantasy, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But they weren't kidding when the tagline literally says a novel with high fantasy and low stakes.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
It's like no stakes.
But is it really that high fantasy though? Like I've read high fantasy that's more
because as soon as there were stakes, they were immediately like nipped in the bud. Like he was trying to do something with the magical, being like, oh, this person, like if you don't pay them, it's gonna be bad for you. And then she was just like, I'm not paying. Let me go talk to this person. And then they're like, I love you. Maybe we'll work something else out. And I'm like, okay, if you're like the top dog, if you're some mafia queen, let's put it that way, you probably shouldn't have let her get off that easy, because now everyone's gonna be like, can I just give you goods versus money?
I was thinking of like a Cruella DeVille looking character when she came in.
Oh yeah.
Like the big jacket with the big puffy whatever.
All right, Liz has a question for you, Alicia. I know that Drowned Kingdom, I think, is August.
Yes, I'm thinking of doing the end of August because of timing with everybody else who wants to do.
For Northanger Abbey or just Drowned Kingdom?
No, for both. So the Drowned Kingdom one is August 18th, which is the middle of the month. And then I was thinking like the last weekend of the month if it worked for everybody. It's just time zones.
Yeah, time zones are tough. That's why,
especially when everybody else is in different time zones that wants to do it. I'm just like,
yeah. And then you try to get a weekend and you hope that works out, but then who knows, because work schedules are all over the place.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I'll just do it, and if it, but it is, Liz, it is still happening. It's just I haven't exactly figured out when, but it is happening. I promise.
And spoiler alert, book club is going to go on a major hiatus in September to early October. I'm going on vacation. So when we would normally have like a 2-week thing, unless if you guys want to like attempt to do back-to-back weeks, but I feel like with what we've done in June, like back-to-back, everyone's going to be looking for a little bit of a break, which I understand.
I'm not
didn't want to try to plan too much. Huh?
I'm not opposed to either, so like I can just go with the flow.
Yeah, but if I did,
we're trying to figure it out.
maybe we do a Cosmic Kind of Love then in September, if everybody wanted to, because basically I have everything. If you guys check out the description box, it's every other week. So, well, at the end of July, and then immediately we have one at the very beginning of August, but it's a novella, so it's very short. So it's a quick turnaround, but it's that Kate Bateman book that everyone really wanted to read. So that one, that is a back-to-back week.
They're short. They're usually shorter if we have to do back-to-back. Thank goodness.
Yeah, but I think the one on September 13th that I'm thinking about is Meghan Quinn, the last book in that series. So maybe if everyone wanted to opinions, everyone feel free to shout out. So I did have the Meghan Quinn books back to back, all three in like 6 weeks. And I know that we were saying for Bromance Book Club, we liked it when everything was interspersed a little bit. So maybe I could throw in,
so we don't get like burnout on the series.
Yeah, but we would have to do some back-to-back books, and those books are thicker. So please put opinions out there now, because it would be at the end of August, early September, and I know that's right when school starts for everybody, so that might be a tough time to do it.
Shit. Hi.
Thanks for popping in. But yeah, so just some things to think about. Did grad school every other week in summer for 2 years. So I can buff that. Liz is in it to win it. Now I feel like I have to win it for Liz.
Hey, I'm in your same boat, Jen. Like I'm a chaotic reader.
Yeah,
you pin me down to one thing, and I will change. Like I will stop all my books and then restart a new batch, and then change things, and then drop things that I was halfway through.
So that's why I'm just like, maybe because it's only 3 books, and that book is a 3-book series, and I think it's done. So I kind of almost want to say, let's just keep that together. And then maybe we can like last minute plan it, because my vacation starts on September 17th. So the 13th is when we had the other one. I would have to do it right when I come back, which is fine. I can just make it the book that I read on vacation. And I really did like that book. And I think I annotated it as I went. So I would be able to very easily just go back through that. So,
okay.
You know, when I come back, we have Gallant, and then Throne of King of Thorns, Throne of the Kerri Maniscalco book. I can't think of the name of it. My brain is fried.
Key of the Fallen or something.
Yeah, can I just complain, not about that book specifically, but when I went to purchase it and I saw how much they're charging for it, and it's just the normal hardcover.
How much are you charging for it?
How much?
$30.
Where are you trying to buy it from?
Amazon.
Oh, I know why.
It was $29.99.
That makes sense.
Get a Kindle book. Put it on Kindle.
Like, you know, when
you
you go
don't
to
need
Barnes
the
and
physical
Noble,
copy.
If you look at like the list price for like adult hardcover fiction, it usually is like $30.
It's just I'm just in general upset that it's that expensive now. It's not like I'm just not picking on that book specifically. It's just
her defense. That's like a 600-page novel. Like, it's her longest book to date. Second, just to make you feel even more outraged, Julianne Lindsey's like 250-page little Christmas tree story is $31.99.
I know. I just pre-ordered it. I just pre-ordered it. I'm like, I will always support Julianne Lindsey, but like I was like, oh my God, this hurts. This hurts my soul.
What you should do is return both of those, and then hope that Barnes and Noble has a 25% off pre-orders, and then order it then. Because that's exactly what I did.
I was
Sorry, everybody.
But it's not like nothing about the authors. It's just like how
it's pricey, which is why I'm just like, if you don't think that, I mean, because you're not a huge fan of Kerri Maniscalco, I would say either save it for a credit and just use a credit for it to do the audiobook, because you're probably going to want to rage listen to it and get it over with as quickly as possible. Or just get a Kindle book, because then you're not taking up physical space and taking on. I mean, you could basically buy the Kindle and the audiobook for the same cost that you would buy a physical book. And do you really want the physical book? So
I really liked the first one, and then she had to make it a series, and I was like, no.
Oh, you're talking about Stalking the Ripper or the other one?
No, the other
I
one.
like that one.
I want to read the other
Wicked?
one. I didn't like
You
the.
want to
I didn't
read
like the
Stalking
first.
Jack the Ripper? Charles, you made my heart so happy. We can do it. I'm throwing out the schedule, guys. No, I won't do that to you guys. I love those books, though. I do plan on rereading them. But what was I even gonna say on that?
I don't like. I love her concept. It's just.
Oh, this book is supposed to be a standalone. It's not supposed to be a series. So once we read this one, his story doesn't continue. So it should be open and closed, which I think is why it's a little bit longer. And it is. She is saying that it's adult and it's straight up for mature audiences.
But there's so
I
many,
hope that it's.
There's so many YA authors that are moving to adult, and it doesn't feel like it when you read the book.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my books are badly written. I'm just saying it still feels like a YA.
Yeah.
I heard like the reason why authors do that now, they branch out so they can have like multiple book contracts with how they structure the advance payments.
Yeah.
Like they can get more steady pay if they publish a YA, a children's, and then adults. And so they have like different books going on. And it's really popular because YA readers are popular. They're reading on TikTok that, oh, what's romance? Hey, this author writes. You used to write YA. Let me read their adult.
This is not romance. It's smut.
Ali Hazelwood did it. She like went from adult and then YA.
When you watch the things on TikTok and you're just like, that's not spicy, and they're like, this is so spicy. I'm like, no, it's not. You
like YA. You don't know what spice
I write
is.
spicy romance. I'm like,
that's when you go, did you read Madison
Chili Peppers? I'm like,
15
no,
inches?
Not.
Get out of here.
They kissed.
And there's a reason why Madison Faye you can barely find her books. Like it's crazy. Like she just kind of like torpedoed her career. Like now we only have Jessica Kane to look forward to.
There was one that was bonkers, but I thought it was great. I think it's Jessica Kane. It's called Husky. And it's good. The male character is like a heavier set guy. And it was bonkers, but it was so much fun, and it was only like 90 pages.
See, that's what you need. Just short and simple.
It was bonkers, it was smutty, and it was 90 pages. And nobody like shapeshifted into an animal.
Yep. Oh, that's a good book.
Which one? I can't see.
Lincoln Highway
Tales.
I want to read that so badly. I have the other one by the author, something Chivalry. Rules of Chivalry, I think. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, Access Chivalry or something
That's
like
it,
that?
yeah.
Alright.
I haven't read it yet, though.
Honestly, I'm just in my spicy romance and dark romance phase. I don't see when that's going to end.
I don't know what it is, but I'm like really hardcore. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's worse. My dog will bite those toys, and then she will whine as she's biting the toy. She gets so annoyed. It's like squeak. Oh my goodness.
But I've been really wanting like sports romance. I don't know why. Like,
you should read Amy Dawes.
Players, hockey players.
I like Amy Dawes.
Her soccer series.
Soccer. I love Ted Lasso. I know that's not what you said, but at the same time, my brain.
Who doesn't love Ted? Okay, who's your favorite character on Ted Lasso? I feel you're gonna say Roy.
Yes.
My favorite character used to be Roy, but then Jamie stole my heart in the 3rd season.
I did like how Jamie's arc. Okay, spoiler alerts. I mean, I won't say anything too much, but I really loved his arc in the final season. I love his and Roy's arc together. I thought that they were just the cutest.
Can we talk about Nathan's redemption arc?
Like, I loved it. I thought it was so.
Like, it was
realistic.
Ted and Nathan were like a father-son. Yes. Like he was like he wouldn't. Oh, it was so precious.
Oh, I loved it so much. Wait,
I haven't
before I forget,
watched
what was the name of that author again? Something Dawes?
Amy.
Amy Dawes.
And Helena Hunting has a hockey series that is good.
Oh, the Puck
Pucked?
series.
Pucked.
I own that one. I'm gonna need that.
Pucked off.
I feel like everyone owns that book by now because it's usually on sale for free.
And then there's one book, I forget who wrote it. I'll have to send you a picture of it. It's called Anton, and the man is naked on the front cover. Like,
Is this the first book in the series? Oh, hold on. Go back. I just wanted to see the cover. Ah! Where did it go?
The pitfalls of being a romance fan. I'm a sucker for a good cover.
Hello.
I know, yeah. But is this the one that you're talking about? Is this a soccer one? I think it's the first book in a series.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, please.
I think there's a reading order, but you don't have to. It's like 2 interconnected series. But I heard the audios are fantastic for that series.
For this one.
Yeah.
I just
They're
want to look at
great.
the picture.
4.1 out of 15,000 reviews. So, yes.
Yeah, and Amy Dawes doesn't release that many books. It's like once in a blue moon, she drops a book.
How dare they? Don't they know that we want to read the things that we shouldn't
Everything?
read?
I'm fine. I'm like, you take your 2-year break. I can catch up on some of the other books I wanted to read.
I know some of my authors when they're like, yeah, I've got a book coming out this year. I was like, you had a book come out last year. I need time to catch up on with everybody else.
I think I privately messaged Julie and Lindsey about, can you slow down so I can catch up on everything? Because one year she had like 6 books come out. I can't catch up.
Well, and everyone was always just like, how are you maintaining good mental
How are you
health at the same time
functioning?
that you're writing? And thankfully this year, I think she realized that, or I don't know what happened, but she definitely slowed down her writing. She took a focus on herself, and I was just like, good for you. Like, as much as I would love for you to come out with a book every other month, like the pressure to do that
I'll read it.
is so much. And for the amount of work that you put into it, the few hours that I sit with it and I'm like, okay, give me another one. I feel bad because I was always demanding more. So I'm glad that she's taken time, even though I'm just like, I need more from you.
It's a lot
but
of
I'm glad
pressure
yeah. And she's got
to
help with
produce
her
like high quality
now.
books because I feel like if she started going down on quality and the books
See, that was
just
the
got
thing.
worse and worse.
I don't
She
think they
never
went down in
has.
quality. They were still really good, but I think like it's not something that you can maintain unless
not
if you
feasible.
have zero life. But she has 3 kids and family, and she gotta take time for you. Gotta
I feel like that's
recharge
the
her
bad thing
batteries.
about romance. They make authors write so quickly because they usually sell their books for so cheap, so at such a lower price.
Yeah.
Versus if you write literary fiction, you can spend 5 years on the book and they will like lock it at like $20.99 or
Look at that.
$15 for the ebook.
Yeah, I just got,
I hate it
even
when
though
they
it's
do
been
that.
out forever, I just got Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
Yeah.
It took her 10 years to write that.
Oh.
It's almost 900 pages. It's going to take me 2 months, but that's a lot of work. 900 pages.
But I feel like if you like look at Jennifer L. Armentrout, like her books are thick.
Yeah.
But she like
I need to get
pumps
back to
them
her.
out.
Which makes me wonder, like, how much. I mean, I know they're technically like indie published, at least that series. But like, how much time are you giving yourself for editing because they're getting pushed out so much?
Well, I think for those, it's just like as production hypes up for one, you're already working on the next one, or you've already started work on that one.
Yeah,
do you know what book that author that I really want to get you guys all into is Elise Kova?
I have the Arrow Awaken series. I have it.
Is she steamy?
Okay, so in terms of steam, I want to say it's been a while. I remember I loved them so much when I was reading them. They're considered a romance, but I would say it's a low steam romance. But there is some. But I wouldn't go into it thinking like, oh, this is gonna be some.
It's gonna be spicy time.
Yeah, no, it's low spice.
It's not gonna be a Katie Robert.
Good. Oh yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, history with primary sources can take 10 years. Yeah, exactly. Probably why Diana Gabaldon takes forever and a day to get her books out.
Okay, Diana Gabaldon needs an editor. I'm like, you need to like cut out like 90% of these books. They do not need to be this long.
I've given up on them. I DNF'd the book series. I've DNF'd the show. They're too rapey for me. I don't care about anyone. Honestly, I got about 30% into, and I've said this before, so everyone be prepared for a repeat. It's a broken record. For Go Tell the Bees, They're Gone, I literally got 33% into the way, and I think part of my review was I wanted a volcano to explode and kill everyone, and I'll tell the bees that they're gone, and we'll all throw a party. Because I was Nicole.
Is there even an end in sight for that series?
10.
Probably not.
10.
It's gonna be 10 books.
Yeah, supposedly she said 10. But the series is ending at season 8, so I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully it ends. Married to Magic. Yes, The Elf King is the first one. Married to the Elf King is the first book. Okay, so technically they're standalones in the same world. So you can literally read them in order. It doesn't make a difference. You don't meet other people from other books in them. I'm very tempted to say that we put a few of her books in because they're shorter and I think they're Kindle Unlimited. They're very good. They are low spice, but yeah, The Deal with the Elf King, Something About a Fey Prince, Something About a Vampire Lord, and there's a Siren King in this next book that's coming out. So I am here for it.
I will put it on my radar.
Mm-hmm. I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've seen
one
books
book
everywhere.
Of series and I liked it.
Yeah, I was reading it thinking that I wanted like a really good romance, and it ended up just it had like a fantasy feel to it, but it was just like a good story. There was romance into it. I think the first one is like a forced marriage, but he doesn't force himself on her. The second one I want to say is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, like she can't see his face for some reason.
Yeah, I'm just bad.
I haven't read the third one.
I need to pull myself away from dark romance.
It'll be a lighter
things. Like that's like where I'm like, I want to read. That's my thing. I'm like, I want to read dark and taboo and messed up.
See, I can do that so long as they don't use the word daddy, but I feel like it's thrown in there and it makes me want to vomit. Oh my gosh, update everybody. Okay, Love Flushed. Nicole,
I knew that was coming.
we found the spots in the book, the audiobook. She did it and she played it for me and I was like, huh, it's so nasty. And then I would
now
go
you see
and
why I was like, why is it in there?
I would highlight it in my book and I'm like, it's literally not in my ebook version of it. So maybe my ebook has heard me vehemently go, if they use daddy, it's disgusting. Maybe. But it's not there.
But it was in my ebook copy.
Could have been different. Could have been an update.
Yeah.
I don't update a lot of mine, so fingers crossed. She accidentally bought it. Does that mean that? Okay.
I accidentally bought Deal with Elf King.
Oh, yay! How are you liking it? I should say, how are you loving it? But also, I don't want to project feelings onto you. I mean, the fact that she's already 58% through it and she thought she bought a different book, that's got to mean something.
What book did you think you bought?
Yeah,
I'm not asking. I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm curious which one it was.
Yeah, I've been really digging Fae romances, but they have to be like good. Like I want something with a good story. I want like a good character development.
Molly Black.
I got through the first one and I was like, no, I'm good.
Which one?
The Cruel Prince.
You didn't love that series? Alicia, I don't know if we can be friends.
I don't know if we can be friends with you. Remove her from this live right now.
I don't know how to. Can I do that? Hold on. Okay, let's see if I can do it. I can! I'll add you back. Don't worry. I feel so bad.
You're fine.
We're all laughing, so it's
How do you not like Hardin and Jude?
That series was so. I was
don't know.
So
it just
mad
looked like a bully romance to me, and that's not my thing.
No, you gotta keep going.
You gotta keep on reading it.
It's
I
like
would say the
plot
third
twist
book is a little
after
bit of letdown, but it made
Yeah.
sense. It
My
makes sense
grandmother
for the
liked
story.
them. I gave all the copies I had to her. My grandmother liked it.
But the Fair
Then
is
just
like
get the
they're
library
cool,
audiobook.
but I
It
want to
was
read
so
the new
good.
duology with August, right? Or Aki? What was the Oak?
I don't know. What's the new one? Why am I I can feel like I can see it, but I also don't know. I like
Yeah, I
it, but I
forgot.
might have to reread some of it. Don't worry, Liz. Maybe I'll make it one of our books for next year. That way it'll be on
close
Charles'
to it because I
radar.
like Elise Cover's
to
writing.
read
I've
it.
read a couple of other things.
We should just read We should just read the Cruel Prince trilogy.
Alicia's just like,
Okay.
don't do it. I'll make my way through Kerri Maniscalco. In September last year.
You can just hate read. That's fun.
I just hope it's not one of those hate reads that puts me into a slump. Like that's the one thing I can give the Kingdom of the Wicked series is like even though I didn't like the other two, I read them quickly at least.
Okay.
Yeah. What did we read last year? Now I'm like trying to think. I can't remember the books we read on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to be 1,000% honest with you. Let's
I
go
don't
to
even remember what I read this year, so you're fine.
I know. Okay, so it would have been September-ish of last year.
I feel like I'm being like not harsher in my reviews, but I'm giving less and less like higher ratings.
I feel like my star ratings have been like to give a 5 is like near impossible.
I seem to be between the 3.5 and the 4. A lot of stuff.
Was it given to the Ghoul, Liz?
Oh, I loved Given to the Ghoul because it was just ridiculous.
It was terrible.
It was bad.
Jen's opinion.
But I read it in a day, so it wasn't. It was ridiculous. It was like what 50 freaking pages or something.
Ugh, it was terrible. I couldn't
Jen,
get over the
obviously,
fact that I couldn't
you
figure
wouldn't
out how
want
to
to read it though. Maybe we should make Jen read this series. It's called Mafia Daddies.
No.
I already like cringe at the title. Bought it in September of
I
last
will
year.
just send you just read this like an office scene that's worth reading if you like steamy scenes. It's so good.
I'm an Hindu. I think for Liz, I wonder if it would have been Kingdom of the Wicked because that would make sense for why they both showed
I was
up.
wondering. Because he was a devil in per se.
We can try and find some historicals. I mean, I always think of historical romances, so
like I'm even down for this kind of like the London Seance Society is the kind of like historical fiction that I like, and that Cooking for Picasso, for example, that's a standalone.
Yeah, the more standalones that anyone can suggest, let me know. Probably get into
standalones are so hard to find now.
They are. Well, and then it's like they'll promote them as a standalone, and then the next thing you know, they're a series, and I'm just like, okay, I understand.
But they sell them as a standalone. Oh, it's a standalone, and then 2 years later, oh, here's a prequel. Here's a this. Here's a that. I'm just like, I don't
Here's a second book. Like, have you guys read The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson?
What's that book? I know the author's name.
I think we need to remove ourselves from the channel now. Charles is so offended with us.
Okay, so the premise is like a dude is about to catch his flight. He has a drink with this woman, and then she basically suggests, "Hey, I'll help you kill your wife."
What?
And that's the start of the book. It's twisty.
That's juicy.
And then I think just recently he announced a follow-up. He did a follow-up novel. And I was like, why would you make a follow? It doesn't need to be a follow-up.
It's like making a follow-up to Gone Girl. Like, why?
Okay, I would read that because it's really.
But I told you that like when the movie came out, she was writing the one from the kid's point of view, and I haven't seen it. And that movie came out what, like 2010?
Yeah.
I
feel like she got busy with other things, and I don't. If she does, I don't know if she's gonna write a new book because she hasn't written anything in so long.
I like her writing though. I would like no pressure, but I would like something new from her because I like her writing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say the last 45 minutes, we definitely have not talked about the book.
We haven't.
And that's okay. We've had a great conversation about literally every other book, giving me some good ideas. Who knows? I'm probably halfway through next year with some of our suggestions. So I'll try to think of some standalones. But that's the one thing that I really like, that if we were to try to do the Married to Magic series, is you could kind of sprinkle those throughout, because it's the same world, but entirely different places.
Okay. I'm down. Like I like Elise
I'm down
Coach's
for
reading.
that.
I read Air Awakens. That's the first.
I haven't read that one. I want to.
I got the
maybe
I haven't read
2024 is the Elise Kova year.
I read because I got the bind up because there's like all 5 books in that series on one Audible credit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they have a
nice.
lot of the omnibus for the audiobook and for the ebook. So definitely hit that up, friends. And all of hers are, if you're on Kindle Unlimited, she's also Kindle Unlimited.
I appreciate that so much.
But yeah, I'll have to start seeing it. The only reason I hesitate to do The Air Awakens is because it's a series, which is also why I would hesitate to do Stalking Jack the Ripper, because that's 4 books and that's 2 months. And
is
then
it 4? I thought it was 3.
4. There's 4
Nope,
books.
Stalking Jack the Ripper,
I know there's
Hunting
a
Prince
Dracula one.
Escaping Houdini, and then The Devil. I want to say The Devil in the White City, but I know that's not it. But that's very similar to what it's at. But it's very clever how those ones are done, because they take aspects of stories that you already know and are familiar with. Like with the first one, Stalking Jack the Ripper, obviously. I mean, Dracula, that's another obvious one. Just going along those mythologies and then creating a story to intertwine them. Very cool.
Like, I don't hate her writing. Like I told you with the first Kingdom of the Wicked book. Like, you can tell she grew up in an Italian household with how she wrote the relationship with the grandmother, the this, the that, the food, that's what I loved about it. Like, I didn't care about the rest of it, but like, I was like, get back to like the grandparents and the food cooking and all that.
So you're saying you want to read Stalking Jack the Ripper? We've got the first half of the year cleared out. We'll do every other book along with Elise Kova. That's literally 4 months,
I'm not going to promise that I'll read the whole series, but I will try it. I will try it.
But that might be something that Liz would really enjoy. If she likes history, she'll probably, although Liz, she might not have done a great job. I don't know. I really don't look up a lot of these things. So,
well, it honestly surprised me how, like, I don't know, like, you didn't realize certain things with the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and I was like, really?
I literally live in a shoebox. Unless if someone's told me it or it's random knowledge, I don't know anything. I don't pick up on, sometimes if I get sucked into a story, I don't pick up on it unless if I'm really familiar with it. But like Greek mythology, any of that, no.
I feel like Greek mythology's been done to death now. I'm like, okay, we get it.
I love different
Percy Jackson ruined it for me. Is it Modern Strangers on a Train? Kind of. It's a little bit like the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo type of character vibes with the main heroine. I loved
that first book in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I mean, you will like it. Like, I recommend you don't get spoiled for it because it has a lot of twists and turns.
Okay.
I think this is his best book, and he hasn't written a book as good as that one. And then when he goes like, I'm gonna write a sequel to it, I was like,
don't.
If you haven't read the first book, you can still read it on its own.
Nice, okay.
It's a whole different mystery, whole different characters. It's a whole different type of vibe.
Nice. All right, so next week, I hope I put this all in here right. Sounds right. So next Tuesday should, in theory, be our last Tuesday. They did ask me to help out with another class at work, so the schedule may change, but I've been told that we shouldn't be gone. Like my day should end at 5, so shouldn't make a difference. So I'm going to say plan that we're going back to Wednesday. I've already created a thumbnail to remind everyone, because any reason to create a thumbnail is where Jen's at. It literally makes me so happy. But yes, next Tuesday, so that's right, we are back to back to back. We are reading The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. It is a standalone, friends. Haha. But yeah, same time, 7 days from now, if you would like
Same
to take
bad
a
channel.
screenshot. I was like, come on, Alicia, I know you're paying attention.
Alicia, raw hand.
I'm so
It's okay.
tired.
She had the book in her one. But yeah, I mean, unless if does anyone else have anything to say about Legends and Lattes? I mean, I think
I
I think we
enjoyed
said
it.
it all.
we've said it all. I mean, we all rated it fairly high. I mean, Charles, even a 3.5, I feel like it's better than a 3. Like at least a 3.5.
Yeah, it'll be
you
a 4 on
liked it,
Goodreading. Because I can't do
Okay.
half-star ratings. So I will round it up to a 4.
I rounded down to a 4. So we're all, I don't know, Alicia, did you round up to a 5 or did you round down to a 4?
I rounded. I'm going to be rounding a little now.
Down. Yeah. And yeah, I went in with different expectations, but yep, next week is where we will be. Okay. Let's see. I really should have a post-it note because I said this last week too. I always feel like it needs to be longer, but I say it way too fast because I forget to breathe and I'm just like, get it all out, Jen. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank my lovely co-host for being here today. Thank you everyone in the comments, everyone watching on the replay. Don't forget to hit the like button. Check out the schedule for the future because it's all in there to the end of the year pretty much, minus dates in October, but at least that will get you to start putting in some library reads. I know we've talked about a lot of books here, so I'll try to write those down and then we'll see what the new year brings. But for now, I hope you all have a lovely Tuesday and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.